Okay, first graders, the story we're going to read today is The Foolish, Timid Rabbit. And did you hear, even in the title of the story, we used two of those vocabulary words. The, the the foolish, timid rabbit. Okay. And as we're reading the story, let's see if we can hear the other words as well. We know we're going to hear foolish, and we know we're going to hear timid because we already have them. So let's listen for the other three as well. Do you remember what they are? Okay, the other ones were courage. Okay, so we had, or a hero, sorry, a courageous person is a hero. We had tell, and we had eventually. Okay, so those are the words we're going to listen for and see how they get used in this story. The Foolish, Timid Rabbit, a tale from India. And as we read the story, you might notice it's similar to another story you've heard before. The characters are all different, but the root of the tale and the main events of the tale may seem very similar. And so this is a good example of how there are stories from different cultures and different countries that get told, but all have similar ideas. So they probably came from the same original story, but just got changed a little bit here and there as they were shared by word of mouth before they got written down. So now that we have written copies of these stories, we see variations and little differences or even big differences with the same theme happening in each story. Okay. So as we're reading this, I want you to think of what silly mistakes have characters made in stories that you know. Or have you made silly mistakes yourself? I know I have. Ready? There once was a timid rabbit. One day, the rabbit was sitting under a palm tree. As he sat there resting, he suddenly wondered what would happen if the earth were to break up in little pieces. Whatever would become of him? Just then, a monkey dropped a big coconut from the tree. The falling coconut landed with a bang. The foolish, timid rabbit jumped up. "Oh my!" he cried. "It is happening! The earth is breaking up!" He quickly ran away from his spot under the tree. He didn't even look back to see what caused the loud noise. As the foolish, timid rabbit ran, he met other rabbits. He shouted, "Run! The earth is breaking up!" "Do not tell us a tale," said the other rabbits. "It is not a tale," shouted the little rabbit. "I heard it happen myself." The others decided it must be true. Soon all the rabbits were running as fast as they could. Next, the rabbits met a deer. "Hurry! The earth is breaking up!" they exclaimed. The deer began to run behind the rabbits. Soon the deer saw a fox. "Get moving! The earth is breaking up!" yelled the deer. So the fox ran behind the rabbits and the deer. Next, the fox saw a great big elephant. "Make haste! The earth is breaking up!" she called to the elephant. The ground shook as the enormous elephant ran behind the rabbits, the deer, and the fox. At last the wise king lion saw all the animals running. He decided to find out why they were running. The lion roared 3 times. The animals stopped in their tracks. "Why are you all running so fast?" the lion asked. The animals told him, "The earth is breaking up." "But who saw the earth breaking up?" the lion asked the animals. "I didn't see it," the elephant said. "The fox told me about it." "I didn't see it," the fox said. "The deer told me about it." The deer shook his head and pointed to the rabbits. And so eventually the king lion looked at the foolish, timid rabbit. "Did you see the earth breaking up?" asked the lion. Well, not exactly, said the foolish, timid rabbit. I was sitting under a tree and I wondered what would happen if the earth broke it up into little pieces. Then I heard a very loud noise. I knew the earth was breaking up. We must go back to the tree and see what was going on, the lion said. Hop onto my back. The rabbit hopped onto the lion's back and they ran to the tree. The other animals waited. When the lion and the rabbit reached the tree, they saw a coconut underneath. The lion pointed to the coconut. Foolish rabbit, he said, the sound you heard was a coconut falling. Then the earth is not breaking up? Asked the foolish, timid rabbit. The lion shook his head and smiled. The lion ran with the rabbit back on his back and told the other animals what had happened. They were very happy that the earth was not breaking up. Lion, you are our hero, the animals cheered, and the foolish, timid rabbit cheered loudest of all. Okay, what story did that seem similar to? Did it remind you of Chicken Little and the sky is falling? I'm thinking these stories both probably came from the same original tell and just changed over time. What vocabulary words did you hear? Did you catch all of them being used in the story? Did you notice how they were being used? Now it's your turn.